wanted to do this session with Johannes because actually this is a technology conference, but actually it's really good to have someone who's using the technology to talk a little bit about it and to tell us a bit about what his view of the market is, and also talk a bit about using the technology that a lot of you develop. And so it's great to have an end user, a big end user with us. And actually, Johannes, you should introduce Schumacher Packaging and tell us a bit about Schumacher, because I think they're fairly significant, aren't they, in the European market? Tell us.
Yeah, Schumacher has been very significant the last centuries, and we've been on the market since 76 years.
76 years.
And since this week, we sold our Polish plants to Saica. So we're getting smaller now, and as you already read in the news, the rest of it will go to Mondi in the future. So we're talking about Schumacher because we prepared everything for Schumacher because we haven't known when the announcement of Mondi is coming up. So, and there's still some government.
Still pretty big though, aren't they?
You're still pretty big. We have.
Put us into context of how big an operation.
Yes, if we have a look on last week.
Yep, let's focus on last week.
We've been 29 sites, 4,500 employees last week. We have 7 corrugated plants. We have solid board, offset, flex, so all the analog printings, and we have digital plants as well, and we have digital well integrated in all our plants. So we have been the biggest family-owned corrugated and solid board company in Germany, and I would say in Europe as well.
Yeah, that's pretty big, isn't it? Yeah. Anyone bigger here? Anyone want to say, yeah, we're bigger? No, that's a pretty big operation. So Johannes, tell us a bit about you. You're a digital print manager. Just give us a little bit of a understanding about your background, how you came to be doing what you're doing, and what you do on a daily basis.
Ooh, that's a tough question.
Yes. Can you remember?
Some of my colleagues still call me Barney Stinson because they don't know what I'm doing. Yep. Actually, I started at Schumacher in 2011, taking over control of the pre-press. There's also something special at Schumacher. We have one centralized pre-press for all our plants, so including Poland, UK, Netherlands, Czech Republic, and all the plants in Germany. We have one centralized pre-press. So I was starting in pre-press in 2011, became the pre-press manager in 2014, because we developed together with Bob's that time the digital printing machine, the first one for the corrugated market, and it wasn't ready to get delivered in the end of 2013. So I decided I have to make holidays for a year in Australia. Please give me a call whenever the machine is ready. So I came back. So in 2014 they gave me a call, I have to come back. So we installed the machine in the end of 2014, beginning of 2015. It was the first digital printer in the corrugated market, and was installed by us from Bob's, and maybe you all know, 2.5 years later it got straight into the rubbish bin. And
thank goodness no one from Bob's here.
No, I think they all know that.
They know anyway, don't they?
So I was taking over the control for the pre-press department, and have had the opportunity to go into the digital market.
Yep.
And I said I want to do it, and we found an agreement in 2014, so 10 years ago, that when we switching, so our CEOs, Björn and Henrik Schumacher, decided that time, we don't investing in analog anymore, we're just investing in digital for the future.
Yep.
So it turns out 6 years, 4 years, 5 years later, it was too early for this decision, but we decided that. And at the same step, I decided, and I find an agreement with them, that we have been 7 people in the pre-press that time for all plants in Europe, and we decided to not becoming more people in pre-press, which means you have to automate everything, you have really use workflows for everything, and that was my role for the first year. For the first years when we started with digital, to bring everything optimized together, that pre-press, color management, and quality for digital is working.
Yeah.
So that's my background, and for the last years I was installing several machines for digital printers all over Europe. I was having nice discussions with all our vendors, having nice talks to all ink suppliers all over the world, and that's the role I have at the moment.
And big job.
It's a big job, and you also have to have a look on the service and maintenance. You have to have a look that your own people must be the best trained people on the market when it comes to digital, when it comes to sales. So that's something I did.
It's a biggie. So at the moment you've got, I believe, Durst technology, Inca, Agfa technology, the BHS corrugated jetliner, Hycon. So, you know, covering a real gambit of technology available to you in the job that you do.
We have, in the digital market, we have the solutions from KBA Durst. We have the solutions, as you mentioned. And we have also offset. We have for solid board, we have a lot of offset. And for the corrugated market, we have offset laminators as well. And we have a lot of flexo printers. I counted it, I think, 2 years ago in the middle of COVID, and it was like 74 offset printers in the in the group. So, because someone were asking always, how big is digital compared to analog? And I was always guessing it would be 10%. But someday I said, yes, let's count it. And yesterday I've had a discussion with Stefan, and he said, we always said to the market it's 10%. But on the market, digital at the moment, I think it's 3%.
Yeah, or 3%.
Yes, so we are leader.
Yeah.
A leader, and a leader means 10% in our group.
Yeah.
It's huge in digital. So imagine we have 4 SBCs from Durst, KBA Durst running, which the machine was also developed by us. So we've had the first installation, second installation, but it was the same time 1 week later with the first installation in Austria. And we developed the machine and we moved it forward. And it was a field test at the beginning, and we really brought it to a production-ready machine the last years. And of course, we have the jetliner from BHS, which is the monster in the industry of digital printing. Together with the HP, I would say, it is the biggest one, but the BHS is bigger and it's faster, and it's in the middle of an e-commerce blend, so you can print straight into the corrugator with like 400 meters print speed in digital printing.
So let's pick up on that, because you just mentioned e-commerce, short run, I guess. So your business, you've got both short run e-commerce flexibility and then longer run production. You know, just explain a bit more about this kind of landscape, this customer landscape that you've got.
I remember when 6, 7, 8 years ago, when I first met Oliver Barr from KBA, which we heard him this morning, he told me, we talked about the Rotajet at that time, and he told me, it was the first meeting ever I seen him. After 5 minutes, he said, a product is a product if you have sold it 1 billion times. I was like, okay. So if we talk about short run and long run, and it is exactly like this in the e-commerce market. So we're really producing all our e-commerce boxes, not all, but as most as possible in digital. And we also have the high quality printing market. We had all kind of, we are a full supplier.
Yeah, right.
So it's not, we're not just having a little, we have everything. So if you ask our salespeople, they could offer every solution. And this is the same in production and technology for us.
Just out of curiosity, and I know this is not on our list of questions, if you were going back in time and you were thinking, you've got full production possibilities, haven't you? Yeah. If you were running the business yourself, would you do that? Would you have that? Or would you go, I'm going to go for a niche. I'm going to take this in this space doing this.
Actually, it's part of our DNA, because also the high quality flexo in the end of or the middle of the 90s was developed at Schumacher Packaging together with the analog machine builders as well. We've been a strong partner for them. But actually, if you would ask our CEOs today if they would go the same direction, they said yes, they would say yes, but they would also say our father would never agree to that. Yeah. So because
maybe a different path.
Yes, of course, but they always have a straight belief, and they always have that strong belief in moving forward with digital, being the first one. Of course, it was expensive. Of course, you have to educate your people. Of course, you need more people, and you have a high learning curve. And sometimes you end up with a machine for millions of euros in the rubbish bin. But we've been the technology leader, and we are known as the technology leader, and our customers know that they can trust us and have a long-term relationship because of technologies as well.
So we've heard a lot of people talk about trend today and what is going on, what 2025 looks like. Just because you've got a lot of different customers and you can see things going on and you can probably guess trend, what do you sense 2025 looks like in terms of the packaging world and the environment that you're in?
I mean, we are in main business is in Germany,
Yeah.
and the market in Germany the last 2 years was horrible. And with all these crises going on, it will be horrible the next half year as well. We have to wait. We know the result of the election in the US as well, and it will has an impact as well to us. And we have to wait what kind of impact it will have. But I don't see a big growing the next couple of months, next half year.
Yeah.
And we have to find solution for all the crises we have. And that's the feeling we get from our customers as well. Some of them are all struggling as well.
Yeah.
So the economic feeling of the people in Germany, and I think it's for whole Europe. Germany is a bit more because if you have a look on the corrugated market, we lost 8% last year, and I think the rest of Europe was just 3%. So it will be a tough year. Yeah.
Yeah, and when we talked about this before, you mentioned to me that, and I just want to cover this because it might be interesting to people who are not German, is that you mentioned that government and regulation is kind of tying you down a bit, and restricting what you're doing, and not as flexible as perhaps in the past.
It's not just a bit. It is.
I'm trying to be kind of tactful.
Making a corrugated or a solid board box at the moment. It doesn't matter if it's an e-commerce box or if it's something special gift box. You have the same regulations you have for an hard operation, an open heart operations. Yeah. You have to fulfill the same papers. You have to fulfill quality standards, and it's not about sustainability. It's not about footprints. It's really about the whole things we do at the moment with EU regulations, also with German regulations, making things, I would not say worse. And this is also, as I said, we sold the business, the company, the owner's family, after centuries of years decided to sell the business. It was not just because we lost money or something like that, or it was a decision. We've had a strong growth the last years and years and years, 20 years I would say. We've been growing and growing and growing. But our administration behind was not really growing that fast. And now, with all these new regulations coming up, we have to hire a bunch of people. I would say more than 100 people just to fulfill all these regulation papers behind. And this was also a major reason to sell the company.
Yeah, and you're going to talk a little bit about the Mondi deal in a moment. But just before we move off Germany, what was interesting actually is that you mentioned to me that actually the UK, your business in the UK, in comparison, is doing quite well.
It is different. You can feel it's different, and you can also, when you talk to the customers, it's different. They are more enthusiastic, I would say, at the moment. In Germany, everyone is scared. I mean, maybe it's something in our blood in Germany that we are scared whenever something happens, but if you have a look in the UK, customer and market, they are like, let's move forward. Yeah. And we can't see this in Germany. We really have customers. We installed a digital machine as well this year in Birmingham in our plant. And we really see that customers asking for it and taking the new opportunities. And in Germany, it's really quiet, but here everyone is moving on.
Yeah,
so
okay.
It's a difference.
That's good to hear. Obviously, there's been talk about things like machine learning, AI, connected packaging. What do you sense on that? Is that the future of packaging? Is there a different landscape that you're seeing?
As I said, it's like less than 10%, we said. I say it's 3%, so there is more than a chance. And I mean, even if I look at Schumacher, we are the technology leaders, but if you have a look on our solid board plants, there's no digital machine at the moment. So yes, there are opportunities, but some companies and also some competitors have invested in digital before COVID happened. And then COVID happened and everyone was looking after productivity. Yeah. No one was looking for technologies, for expensive things, slow down things. Everyone was like getting the sellings out, I would say. And after COVID, we have had all these crises now happening, so no one was having enough money to invest, and everything, everyone was scared. So we can see at the moment that the invest in digital is not there. I mean, we have some machine builders here. They will probably tell you that what we expected, like the ink consumption for the corrugated market in digital, and when we see the real numbers, it's completely different.
Yeah.
So there are opportunities in the future, and one day it must be getting up, because actually the market is ready, I would say. All the agencies know what digital is. We saw the opportunities the last hours, and the technology is ready. It's well developed since years. So let's move forward, I would say.
I think it might be interesting just to take some questions from the audience in a moment about some of the things you talked about. I just want to wrap up because you mentioned the Mondi deal, and you also have told me that, and I don't think this was a reflection of anything other than you are moving on from Schumacher. So tell us about that.
I'm moving on, and this is has nothing to do with the Mondi deal, and it is
all the negative stuff you just said, nothing to do with that. No. It's just an opportunity.
It has nothing to do with the Mondi deal. And the decision actually was coming up for myself because a friend of me told me, I googled your name and I watched all the videos, and I heard all the podcasts in the internet about you, and you're telling exactly the same story since 4 or 5 years. He has a PhD in medical, so he's
wise, is he?
And he said, I could do your job easily. And I realized, okay, maybe I have to change something. Right. So it's not a decision against anything. It's a decision for myself to move on with something else.
Sure.
So I'm still staying, of course, in the digital market, but I'm leaving to labels, and I'm really looking forward, because we were sitting together, I think, next year in Valencia, and then it's a labels and packaging conference, so we meet all the same guys. So it's perfect. No,
and you'll be managing director there, you said?
I will become managing director of 3 label
companies. So he'll have nice budgets to spend on technology and that sort of thing. So that's great news, isn't it?
It is. So, yes.
Yeah, brilliant. Listen, good to speak to you. Is there anyone who'd like to ask a little question here of Johannes whilst he's up here? Just raise your hands if there is. Stefan, have you got a question? You look like you were pondering something. Yeah, I thought you would.
No, I think it's really enlightening. I think we share the same perspectives on digital. But with my presentation at the beginning, where AI is starting to be integrated into workflows, into the process, do you see this coming into the hardware itself? Software, yes, but hardware, and maybe envisaging that Kit Kat with less risky pictures as a reality.
You can see, as you said, that it's coming in the software, and you can sometimes, if you have a look on the future and if you have a good relationship with some machine builders, it will come in the future as well. But remember 10 years ago on Trooper 2012, when we thought 10 years from now everything would be digital. It never happened until today. And it's the same with AI in the machines. It's moving, and we expect to have it in 10 years, but no one knows.
There's always a little bit of resistance to that kind of technological change, where systems are in place and people kind of go, well, we like what we're doing, we don't want to disrupt it too much.
I wouldn't say so.
No?
I wouldn't say so, because it's getting harder to get people, and it's also getting harder to educate your people. I mean, we don't need the printers anymore in a couple of years if we really switch to digital. We need some maintenance, service, printer people on the machine, but not the high educated, qualified people on the machine for printing.
Yeah.
We need these people for color management and for pre-press, if we don't have it fully automated in the pre-press, but not on the machine anymore. This is something that will change in the education way, but also with the machine himself, like we saw today, the nozzle management and everything. It has to come, but as the machine builders haven't sold that much, nearly that much machine as they expected, where should they take the money to invest in some new things? Money is not falling from the skies at the moment, so that's the problem.
Yep.
So it could be the next years, but maybe we also have to wait.
Listen, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for the question, and appreciate that. And you'll be around if anyone wants to have a chat with you. Thank you very much, Johannes.
You're welcome.